A warm greetings to one and all. In this session, let's learn about exception handling in C++. Basics of exception handling includes finding the problem, informing that an error has occurred, receiving the error information, and take the corrective actions. Let's learn about exception handling mechanism. There are three main keywords, namely try, throw, and catch. So in try block, it detects the exception with the help of throw statement and it throws the exception object to the catch block. So we can see here the exception object is thrown to the catch block. So in catch block, it catches the exception and handles the exception to avoid the abnormal termination of the program. So the point at which the throw is executed is called as throw point. Syntax for try and catch block. So first we have the keyword try followed by open curly parenthesis. Then we have statements to be executed inside the try block. So the try block may have the throw keyword so that it may throw an exception to the catch block. So finally, using closed curly parenthesis, we have entered the try block. So next we have the catch block, which has the exception type, followed by open curly parenthesis, and it has the code to be handling the exception, and the catch block is ended with closed curly parenthesis. So catch block catches and handles the type of an exception. Now let's have an example program using try, catch, and throw. So first let me explain the code and then we can see how it has been executed. So we can see the three keywords try, throw, and catch in this program. So in main function, we have try block first. So with the opening curly parenthesis, we have declared the variable a of integer data type and assigned the value 10. Next, we have declared the variable b of integer data type. Then we have obtained the value of the variable b from the user using cin statement. Next, we have declared the variable c of integer data type. Followed by we have an if condition. It states that if b is equal to 0, that is the value of the variable b which is obtained from the user is equal to 0 or not. If so, here we have a throw point. That is, it throws the exception object of type runtime error along with the message division by 0 not allowed. Now the control moves to the catch block. The catch block receives the exception object. It executes its out statement and displays the message exception. And it also displays e.whatoff. That is, it represents the message which is thrown from the try block. That is division by 0 not allowed. And then it executes the return 0, which implies the successful execution of the code. Now let's move to the next case. That is, if b is not equal to 0, then it executes the statement c is equal to a divided by b. And using cout statement, it displays the message result after division and the value of the variable c to the user using cout statement. Since no exception is detected and thrown, then the control goes to the statement immediately after the catch block. That is, it skips the catch block and it executes the return 0 statement, which implies the successful execution of the code. Now let's see the execution of the code. We all know that the execution starts from the main function. So inside the main function, we have try block and we have initialized the value of the variable a as 10 of integer data type. Next, we have declared the variable b and using cin statement, we have obtained the value of the variable b from the user. Let's consider this case. That is, user has given the value of the variable b as 5. Next, we have declared the variable c. Next, we have an if condition here. So we have to check whether b is equal to 0. The value of the variable b is 5 and it is not equal to 0. So now it skips the throw statement and it moves to the next statement, that is c is equal to a divided by b. And it displays the message using cout statement, that is result after division, and the value of the variable c, that is 10 divided by 5 is equal to 2, that is 2. You can see here result after division 2 is displayed to the user as shown in the output. Now the program gets successfully executed after executing the statement return 0. Now let's check out the other case with this example. So if the value of the variable b is 0, that is the user gives the value 0 for the variable b, then it moves to the if condition here. It checks that b is equal to 0. Then it throws an error of an object type runtime error along with the message division by 0 not allowed. So this is the throw point here. We have obtained the throw point and the exception object is thrown to the catch block. So the catch executes this out statement by displaying the message exception. You can see here exception is being displayed and e.whatOff, that is the message which is thrown from the try block. That is division by 0 is not allowed. We can see here division by 0 is not allowed is displayed to the user using out statement. So next we execute return 0 statement and it implies that the successful execution of the code. Hope you are clear in this example program using try, catch and throw. Now let's learn about multiple catch block. So here we have three cases to discuss about. So the first case is when try block throws an exception object, that is when throw point is reached, then the program control leaves the try block and enters into the catch block. Since there are multiple catch blocks, we need to find the appropriate catch block to be executed. So it is done by the type of exception type which is thrown from the try block. So if the type of the exception objects matches with the argument type in the catch statement, then catch block is executed and the control is moved to the statement out of the try catch block. So it executes the statement and ends up with the successful execution of the code. So the case 2 is if match is not found in any of the catch statement, then program is aborted with the help of abort function, which is invoked by default, and program gets terminated. In case 3, that is when no exception is detected and thrown, then the control automatically goes to the statement out of try catch block and executes the statement. That is, the control goes to the statement immediately after the catch block and executes the statement. That is, it skips the catch block and executes the next statement after the catch block and terminates the program successfully. Hope you are clear in multiple catch block concept. Let's have an example program for multiple catch block. So first, let me explain the code. So inside the main function, we have declared the variable choice of integer data type. So next, try block statement starts here. So inside it, we have the out statement to display the message enter any choice to user. And using cin statement, we have obtained the value of the variable choice from the user. Then using if else if condition, we have checked the value of the variable choice is equal to 0. If it is true, using out statement, it displays the message multiple catch to the user. Next, in else if condition, we have checked the value of the variable choice is equivalent to 1. If it is true, it throws the integer exception with value 10. Next, in else if condition, we check the value of the variable choice is equivalent to 2. If it is true, it throws the character exception with value small x. So next, in else if condition, we have verified the value of the variable choice is equivalent to 3. If it is true, it throws the floating point exception with value 1.45. So next we have else statement here. Using cout statement, not valid choice message is displayed to the user and try block ends here. So followed by the try block, we have multiple catch blocks here. So in first catch block, that is catch int of a. This specifies that this catch will catch the exception of type integer. So when exception type integer is thrown from the try block, the program flow will be jumped to this catch block and executes the cout statement, that is integer exception block value A is being displayed to the user. In next catch block, that is catch char of B, specifies that this catch will catch the exception of type char when an exception type character is thrown in the try block. The program flow will jump to this catch block and executes this out statement, that is character exception block value of B is displayed to the user. In next catch block, that is catch of float of C, specifies that this catch will catch the exception of type float. When an exception of type float is thrown in the try block, the program flow will be jumped to this catch block and executes the out statement, that is float exception block value of the variable C is displayed to the user. So finally, we have return 0 statement, which indicates the successful execution of the code. We have to know that the program will execute the try block first. If no exception is detected and thrown, the program control moves to the statement immediately after the catch block and execute the next statement. In case 2, if it throws any exception, it finds the appropriate catch block and it executes it and moves out of the catch block and execute the next statement. In case 3, if no match is found in the catch block, then program is aborted using abort function, which is invoked by default. Now let's see how the code gets executed. We all know that the execution starts from main function. So first we have declared the variable choice of integer data type. So next comes the try block. Here, using cout statement, we have displayed the message enter any choice to the user as shown in the output. Next, using cin statement, we have obtained the value of the variable choice from the user. So here, user has given the value 1. Now, control moves to the if condition here in the try block. So here, it checks the value of the variable choice, whether it is equal to 0 or not. It is false, since the value of the variable choice is 1 given by the user. So the cout statement is being skipped and moved to the next else if condition. So here we are checking the value of the variable choice is equal to 1. Yes, it is true. So now throw of 10, the statement is being executed. So it throws the integer exception with value 10. Now control moves to the catch block. So here the first catch block, that is catch of int A, is being executed. So it catches the exception of type integer. So the match is being found here. It executes this out statement and displays the message integer exception block value is A. So the value of the variable A is being thrown from the try block, that is 10. So it is being caught here in this catch block and it is being displayed to the user as shown in the output. So integer exception block value is 10 is displayed to the user as shown in the output. So after executing this out statement, now control immediately skips all other catch statement and moves to the return 0 statement. So here return 0 implies that successful execution of the code. Now let's have another example here. So code execution starts from the main function. Here we have declared the variable choice of integer data type. Then we have the try block which is being started here. Using cout statement, we have displayed the message enter any choice to the user as shown in the output here. Next, using cin statement, we have obtained the value of the variable choice from the user. User has given 5. So now the control moves to the next statement. Here, using if statement, we have checked the value of the variable choice is equivalent to 0. So it is false since the value of the variable choice is 5. So we are skipping this out statement and we are moving to the next else if statement. So here we are checking the value of the variable choice is equivalent to 1. So here also it is false since the value of the variable choice is 5. So now throw of 10 statement is being skipped and we are moving to the next else if part. So here we are checking the value of the variable choice is equivalent to 2. So here also it is false since the value of the variable choice is 5. So this throw of text statement is being skipped and now we are moving to the next else if condition. So here we are checking the value of the variable choice is equivalent to 3 or not. So here also it is false since the value of the variable choice is 5. So this throw statement is also being skipped. Now we are moving to the else part of the if condition. So using cout statement, we have displayed the message not valid choice to the user as shown in the output. So here we can see that there is no chance of exception. If no exception is being detected and thrown in the program, then the control goes to the statement immediately after the catch block. That is, the catch blocks are being skipped and it is being moved to the return zero statement. So return zero statement is being executed and it implies the successful execution of the code. So hope you all are clear in multiple catch block using this example program. Nested try block. So in C++, a nested try block refers to a situation where one or more try blocks are placed inside another try block. So this allows for handling exceptions at different level of code execution. The syntax for nested try block is being given here. So first we have a try block. So inside the try block, we have another try block with its corresponding catch statement. So next, the try block is being ended here. Then we have the catch statement for this outer try block. So this portion is called as inner try block, and from the starting try to the ending catch is called as outer try block. So hope you are clear in the structure of nested try block. Now let's have an example program for nested try. So first let me explain the code. So first we have main function here. So inside the main function, the first statement is try block. It is also called as outer try block. So followed by the outer try block, we have another try block. Since it is inside the outer try block, it is also called as inner try block. So here comes the nested try concept. So inside this inner try block, we have a statement throw of 20. So it throws an exception of type integer with value 20. So now the inner try block is being closed. Followed by that, we have a catch block for the inner try block. Catch int of e specifies that it catches the exception of type integer with value e. So this catch block displays the message exception occurred with value and the value of the variable c using cout statement to the user. So next it throws e, which means that it throws the exception of type character with value small e. So now the catch block of the inner try block is being ended. Followed by that, we are ending the outer try block also. So next we have catch of character C. So this catch statement is meant for outer try block. So catch character C specifies that it catches the exception of type character with value C. And using cout statement, it displays the message an exception occurred with value. The value of the variable C is being displayed to the user. So now the outer try block catch block is also being ended. The next statement is return 0, which specifies the successful execution of the code. And now code gets ended here. Now let's see the execution of the program. We all know that the execution starts from the main function. Now the control moves to the outer try block and then the control moves towards the inner try block. There it executes the throw 20 statement. That is, an integer exception is being thrown with a value of 20. Now the control moves to the catch block for the exception match. The match is being found. That is, catch int e of. So it catches the exception of type integer with value e. So here using cout statement, it displays the message exception occurred with value and value of the variable e. So the value of the variable e is being caught from the inner try block. So 20 is being passed here to the catch block and it is being displayed to the user as shown in the output. So exception occurred with value 20 is being displayed to the user as shown in the output. The next statement is throw E. So it throws the exception of type character with value E. Now control moves to the next catch block, that is outer catch block. So here it checks for the exception match. Match is being found, that is catch char of C. So it catches the exception of type character with value C. Using cout statement, it displays the message. An exception occurred with value, and value of the variable is C is being displayed to the user. The value of the variable C is nothing but E, which is being thrown from the catch block of the inner try block. It is being catched in the catch block, and it is being displayed to the user using cout statement as shown in the output. An exception occurred with value small e. Next, return 0 statement is being executed. So it implies the successful execution of the code. So hope you are clear in this example program for Mr. Try concept. Let's learn about finally block. The application always executes any statement in the finally part, even if an exception occurs in the try block. When any code in the try block arises an exception halts at that point. Once an exception handler is found, execution jumps to the finally part. After the finally part's executed, the exception handler is called. If no exception occurs, the code in the finally blocks executed in normal order after all the statements in the try block. No, C++ does not support finally block. The reason is that C++ instead support RAII, that is, resource acquisition as initialization. So it is a far name for a really useful concept. The idea is that an object's destructor is responsible for freeing resources. When an object has automatic storage duration, the object destructor will be called when the block in which it is created exits, even when that block is exited in the presence of an exception. Thank you all.